on, bro. It better not. I hope it ain't no crazy shit, cause
Okay.
title just speaking for itself. Talking about some evil husband records his terrifying act. So I know he finna do some. You feel me? Gruesome shit. Lynn don't do no
What
crazy.
way? You don't give a about me.
Yes, I do.
I want to just hurt you and be safe. God does deserve it.
For 5 hours, this abuse continued by the man you just saw, Keith Johansson, on his wife, Brandy, until finally he decides to do this.
Oh! Oh!
You know what? I'm gonna leave it here, haunt you. Maybe one day you.
Oh shit!
Unfortunately, later that morning, Keith's wish would come true. Brandy was found dead with a gun next to her body.
I thought he was finna. My fault.
She's gone. Oh God.
Shut up! Just tell it.
You serious?
I knew that something was wrong. That she had accidentally got shot, but I didn't know where.
Who do you think accidentally shot her?
Not me. Herself.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. Keith. Come on, Keith.
She had her little scream.
Come on, Keith. You and I. Come on, man. You and I both know, Keith. Come on now. Alright.
I heard 2 gunshots. I felt sad.
At approximately 10:40 a.m. on April 7th, 2018, deputies from the Flagler Sheriff's Office received a call from Keith Johansson, the husband of 25-year-old Brandy Chalenza.
Flagler County 911, where's your emergency?
I was in the shower, and I heard some gunshots.
Okay.
I think that my wife accidentally shot herself.
Okay, you applying pressure to that wound?
I can't see it. Listen, I got wood floors and I'm sliding. I don't want to risk hurting her or possibly one of the guns going off too.
By the time officers arrived at the scene, it was
sense.
far too late for emergency personnel to do anything. Brandy was found shot dead in her bedroom with 2 9mm casings next to her. Out of the 2 bullets that struck her, one was a rubber bullet that struck the center of her chest, while the second bullet was real and went straight through her right breast. While the body was sent for an autopsy, officers need to find out what happened, and the only witness they have is Keith, who breaks down into tears after hearing that he will never be able to see Brandy again.
She's gone. Oh God.
Shut up, just
Shut up.
Sure. I don't want nobody to ever have a gun. Only again.
At this point, we don't want to freaking out any more than what's going on, okay?
What do I do?
I don't know at this point, all right?
Why?
I don't know, that's what we're...
There's no God.
Huh?
There's no God.
However, officers need to identify whether these tears are just an act or genuine by questioning Keith further. And this is where he begins to muddy the waters.
You guys were talking?
Yeah, man, we got up. I took a shower. Just made her coffee.
Okay.
When I went to take a shower, I heard boom, boom, boom. I got out. And she was laying on the floor with guns right next to her. And I was like, no.
Okay.
So I called you guys immediately.
How long were you in the shower, would you say?
Maybe 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Keith is insistent that he was in the shower when this happened,
he was in the
but
shower?
the officers are skeptical.
That's his story?
Yeah. No.
So he was in the shower.
How many shots did you hear?
2.
You heard 2?
And I thought it was a balloon at first. Then I heard this secondary shot. And I ran out there and seen her laying there going, so I called you guys immediately.
Although probable, an accidental discharge resulting in 2 gunshot wounds was highly unlikely, especially on the chest in such close proximity to each other. If Brandy's death wasn't an unfortunate accident, then Keith is definitely a suspect, and how he acts next only credits this suspicion.
Everybody get rid of. I'll take all of the gun. You gotta get rid of. Let me go get. You better get rid of yours, everybody. No, I'll take. How soon can we get in the house?
At this point, we're still in the initial
Yeah,
phases of everything.
It was strange that after having a breakdown, he would request his father to get rid of the guns. But this was only the start of a string of inconsistencies as a search of the home began immediately after Brandy's death. Firstly, an inspection of the washroom that Keith was showering in showed little to no signs of use. Not only that, but if Keith had really rushed out of the shower to help Brandy, there would have been water splashes next to the body. In contrast, officers found almost no water close to Brandy, besides a few small splotches right outside the washroom door. The second piece of evidence officers found were cameras littered throughout the home.
So there's a camera right above your head. I see a couple right in front of you above you. And there's a few, I don't know if they're active inside the house as well, so.
These cameras covered almost every square inch of the home. It was almost as if not a moment passed by without monitoring the movements of everyone in the house. However, this footage was not stored locally within the house. Rather,
I don't know if y'all seen
it was in the
Haunted House.
hands of
That Haunted House
California-based
was.
camera company
They had it on Haunted House with Marlon Wayne. He was in that bit.
Arlo.
She was getting fucked by the lamp.
This meant that it would take time before officers could get their hands on the footage, as a warrant was required. Considering all the clues so far, he is brought in for questioning approximately 4 hours after Brandy's death. However, the first people to talk to Keith were not detectives, but a chaplain.
I can't wrap around why she'd be taken. I mean, she's so young. We just got married not too long ago, less than a year. We're starting out our life in a brand new house, and I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
I can't wrap my head around it.
And how are the two of us getting along?
Perfect.
Perfect?
Perfect. I just can't, you know. Like, how am I gonna live without her? You know what I mean? How am I gonna go back to the house? I mean,
those are all situations where God will give you the peace to be able to do that.
He didn't give me the strength.
Yeah, and he is a God of strength.
Because right now I'm kind of weak.
Yeah.
As you can imagine.
Yeah, just ready over. Okay. Bring peace, I pray, in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Usually, the information given by a suspect to the clergy is not reliable. However, it does provide invaluable insight into how a suspect thinks and approaches a possible crime. Shortly after this, an interview with Keith is initiated in order to add more context to the mountain of evidence being built against him.
I knew that something was wrong, that she had accidentally got shot, but I didn't know where.
Who do you think accidentally shot her?
Not me. Herself. I figured she was trying to, how it looked to me, is she was maybe move them, or trying to move them, or I don't know. I wish you guys would tell me.
If Brandy killed herself, there must have been a genuine reason why, and this reason can only be found if they get deeper insight into the relationship between the two.
How would you describe
We know she ain't do that though, man. We already, man.
The best one that I've had yet. I mean,
We already know.
Was everything that I wanted her to be. Everybody has their problems here and there, yeah, of course. But it was, she woke me up, she made breakfast, she had my back, you know? And that's very rare. I've had one bad relationship before, and that was nothing like this one. I mean, as far as I know, we loved it, happy, we did things with kids, we did our thing.
I feel like you have been honest up to this point about your relationship with Brandy and about your love for Brandy. I mean, I can see it in your face.
It's gonna dark.
Yeah, how much you love her. And I can also see...
She loved me just as much, though.
Although Keith describes his family life as perfect, he fails to mention the kind of husband he was for Brandy. Keith controlled every aspect of her life, all the way from her social circle to her financial stability. Brandy was not allowed to have friends, not allowed to have a job, and was constantly manipulated by Keith. These habits of extreme control stemmed from Keith's severe distrust over Brandy's loyalty. Things had gotten so bad that Keith installed cameras in the home to monitor her every single move, and the two's relationship hit a low in a certain incident that Keith describes.
Yeah, he tried to lock Cooch up. Tried to lock Cooch up.
They admitted to, you know, I've been flirting online, but whoopee, who cares? You didn't do nothing physically.
This had set off red flags for detectives, because if the couple was actively cheating on each other, a homicide out of sheer spite and rage was highly likely. And there is only one witness who can confirm these suspicions: 6-year-old Ryland.
She went to the hospital.
Oh, tell me about that.
She was, my dad was in the shower, my mom was in her bedroom, and she accidentally shot herself. She had a little scream, and then I heard 2 gunshots. And I know it was nobody with her. It was just her.
Did somebody tell you that?
Yeah.
Who told you that?
My dad.
Your dad told you that nobody was with her, it was just her?
Yeah, in her bedroom.
Thank you for telling me that. What else did you hear? I know you said you heard a little scream.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you heard Mommy scream?
I felt sad.
It is likely that Keith tried to indoctrinate Ryland in order to repeat this side narrative once more. But with this confession of hearing screams, the puzzle pieces finally began fitting together as detectives confronted Keith once more.
As much as I want to believe that the guns fell and went off and shot her, what we have at the scene just doesn't show that. This is your opportunity to help yourself and to lay it all out for us, because there's a backstory. This isn't the story.
This is the story, and I'll get a lawyer and I will prove that this is the real story.
Okay, and you are completely entitled to that.
Ask Ryland.
We did ask him.
Okay.
And you know what he told us? Do you want to know?
Yeah, because I wasn't up. So.
Ask Ryland, because he already knew what he told
us that
him.
He heard his mom scream.
I heard no screams at all. None.
Why would he make that up?
Ask him.
Is he a liar?
He has been known to tell fibs, yes.
Does he tell you on the regular that his mom screams in the bedroom?
No, not screaming, but he lies about a bunch of other different things. You can ask his real father, and he'll tell you that too.
Clearly, the pressure has started mounting against Keith, forcing him to paint Ryland as a compulsive liar. This is when the female detective decides to take advantage of Keith's volatile emotions and make him spill the truth.
I am not saying that you're a murderer. I am not saying that you're a bad person, but what I am saying is, with my training, my experience, and the crime scene, the accident that you're laying out isn't the one that happened.
I feel kind of offended.
I feel offended too, if we're gonna go to that level.
I feel really offended that you guys can try to pin an accident on me.
At this point, Keith became extremely agitated with the female detective to the extent that she had to exit the room and let the male detective lead and begin a new line of questioning, one that confronts Keith about the excessive monitoring.
Are there any security cameras installed in your bedroom?
Not in the bedroom, no. And the rest of them don't work. They're offline.
Just seeing your white ass and all that.
I wish they would have been on, because that would have been clarifying all of this.
I cannot even tell you the crazy that I have seen on surveillance cameras. At this point, until they're done with that scene, you just can't be free to leave. I can't let you leave until that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I have my parents come and talk to?
Before his parents came in, detectives reviewed the body cam footage from first responders and came to a harrowing realization. The reason why Keith was feverishly scrolling on his phone was not that he wanted to call loved ones, but because he wanted to delete every single piece of footage recorded by the cameras that day. Keith knows that he slipped up, and his secrets would soon come to light, as even his own father begins to question what really happened.
Damn. I didn't say you did, but you gotta be prepared for them to try to do that. The main thing, I think, is because it was 2 shots fired. But I know. I'm not saying you did or didn't. I don't know. I'm saying I get out of the shower. Well, that's kind of suspicious too. If you had, this is what you get for being honest, man. Well, maybe you're being honest. I'm not saying you are or not. I mean, I'm sure you
that shit, bro. 2 shots is an accident. I've never heard of 2 shots. I always heard the 1 shot is a warning shot, but you really don't even get that for real. You really don't even get it. If there is no warning. You got that bit. You got that bitch shot. You got to be ready to. You know what I mean? You know you finna. You know what I mean? You know it war. What we playing for? See what I'm saying? If we was playing, it don't sound like it was playing 2 shots. Nah, man. Nah, that ain't no accident, man. That homicide, though.
You still have to understand there's a death
homicide.
involved.
Homicide.
Just saying.
It's homicide, baby.
I believe you didn't, but I didn't. But if you did own up to it, I would have by now. Well, I'm just telling you, if you did it, you own up to it. It'll be better for you. But I didn't. Okay, I believe you. And if I did, I would own up. I've been honest up to this point. I understand. I mean, I want you to think I'm trying to blame you, Keith. I know. I'm talking you man to man because this is the time to do it. Sure. But I'm not going to admit to something that I did not do, okay?
Unfortunately, Keith's parents do not know the kind of man he really is. Because once his mother walks in, she begins to cling to the hope that her son is not a murderer.
Who's innocent? I know I believe you, but it's just like they said, just don't say anything to us. No more. Yeah, no more. You're just gonna have to. I lay on the table and go to sleep. Yeah, they're just doing their job, Keith. But they might be going over a little bit, but it does look suspicious. Sure, even you admit that. Sure, but I'm not gonna be accused of something that I really didn't do. Well, you don't have any choice about that. If they accuse you, they accuse you. You have no choice. Keep your mouth.
I get that they his parents and all. They trying to have faith. But bruh, this shit just sounds dumb. The gun fell off the table, shot twice, and it killed her. GTA 9. That's the most dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. The fuck?
Keep your mouth shut and you hear me? Yeah, keep your mouth shut and stay in good spirits.
Even if Keith kept his mouth shut, it would not stop the secrets he is so desperately trying to hide from spilling over. Because after this interview, detectives received both the autopsy reports and the surveillance footage. The findings in the autopsy stated that although this could have been a suicide, the probability of someone shooting themselves twice was low. Additionally, the presence of methamphetamine was also found within Brandy's body. But these would not be the most important findings. By studying entry and exit wounds and damages to the surrounding area, medical examiners can easily determine the distance from which a bullet was fired. In this case, the second, real bullet was found to be fired from 3 feet away. Even if this was an accident, or at worst a self-inflicted death, Brandy could not have shot herself from this distance. Within the same time frame, the surveillance company, Arlo, also gave up the footage of the home between April 5th and April 7th, the day of the murder. And what the officers found was terrifying.
You don't care about me.
I do care.
In what way? Yeah, you like me. As
No.
a father figure, you don't give a about me.
Yes, I do.
Put fish hooks in that. Because it's not worth nothing now. Not in my eyes. My man, you cheated, dude. Multiple times. And only a stupid, cheating scumbag son of a bitch would make that same mistake. The wrong person, dude.
Brandy was unable to open up to friends and family about the kind of life she was living. In partner abuse situations, reluctance like this often stems from several factors: dependency, shame, and guilt. In Brandy's case, the dependency was produced by Keith on purpose when he made her quit her job. Brandy had no one else to rely on but him. The shame was because Brandy was afraid of how her own family would look at her, and the guilt because she had internalized Keith's psychological manipulation. After she admitted to having an online affair, Keith felt he had free rein to command her to do whatever he wanted by guilt-tripping her using this incident. Brandy became consumed by guilt and would not speak out about anything Keith did, even if this meant he killed her.
Call 911. Get me out of here. Or you ain't waking up. I want to just hurt you and be safe.
Don't want to hurt you and leave. God bless you. You
Too many
deserve it.
God chances, man.
They should have been found this way.
Show a cop these videos. I don't give a... I'd rather be in prison. Jack Stevens. You know what?
Hey man, chill out.
You.
Hey man, chill
will.
out. Put.
You wouldn't give a I did.
Chill out.
You drove me to think about it, man.
Oh, I thought he did some bullshit.
This recording was from the evening of April 5th, 2 days before Brandy
I
was
thought
killed.
he did some bullshit.
This relentless abuse by Keith continued for 5 hours non-stop. However, the worst was yet to come, because 2 days later, on April 7th, a hellish day would begin. At first, the day began as normal, with a religious couple knocking on the family's door to preach by 10:15 a.m.
Not Jehovah's Witness.
Are you that?
I'm not again.
You're still young, right?
Yeah.
After a brief conversation,
what's that
the
word,
couple
Harco?
leaves and Brandy returns to Ryland, talking to him and preparing breakfast.
He asked me if he wanted to go to the fair. Yeah?
What you been on, cuz? How your day was, man? Yeah, that what came.
Unbeknownst to this little
real
child,
deal. You
his
feel me?
anticipation and excitement
Real deal
would
soldier,
turn
real
into
deal,
sheer
you know what I mean?
terror. By 10:33 a.m., an argument
I
breaks
know
out
what time
between
it is.
Keith
You know I
and Brandy
gotta get
downstairs.
high
To
react.
recoup, Brandy crouches into a corner for a while before
On the
following
fried
Keith
reacts,
upstairs. 4 minutes later, at 10:37 a.m., Keith is seen pacing around downstairs while on the phone with 911, contrary to his initial story of being in the shower. Moreover, he is also seen hiding something, which was later discovered to be amphetamine. It is unknown whether the meth discovered in Brandy's system was taken willingly by her or whether it was forcefully given to her. Regardless, it does not change the fact that he killed his own wife in cold blood.
Oh, yeah, hell
Consequently,
yeah.
Keith went on to be charged with first-degree murder.
Yes, Lord,
But before
yes,
the trial
Lord.
could begin, Keith claimed to be mentally ill in order to escape his fate. Although he was quickly declared competent to stand trial, this would only be the start of his insane claims to escape prosecution.
That nigga got-
Shortly
that
after being
nigga
charged and
got
kept in a cell,
big
he would make a
and
call to his parents, where his father blatantly confronts him for his actions.
What did the lawyer have to say? You really want to know? Yeah. All I can say is with the charges you have, there is no probation, and you're looking at 30 years max, 20 years minimum. Jesus. Kidding me? No. All I can say, Keith, is be honest. I am. I didn't do it. Not to my mind's recollection, I didn't do this. Well, you better start searching your mind and recollect one way or the other, because if you keep saying you didn't do it and you did, you're in deep.
If this was not disgusting enough, Keith's
Keith
next
saying
plan
he
was
didn't do
blaming
it.
Ryland, his own
Bitch!
6-year-old stepson, for the murder.
What if it was him?
I don't know, Keith, but, you know, he's a little boy.
I know.
Fortunately, such an absurd claim would not work for 3 whole
Sound like
years,
skin I
the
got on
entire
Warzone,
time
bitch.
he was awaiting trial.
And
On October
beans and
26,
butt,
2021,
butt,
Keith
bitch.
Johansson's trial
Sound like
began.
butt, bitch.
This time around, his alibi would change once more, as his defense claimed that the entire situation was self-defense. In fact, Keith took the stand himself to explain exactly what had happened on the morning of April 7th.
Chunky,
So I go out
like
there,
Ben
and,
Roethlisberger, bitch.
she had a weapon in her hand, and, well, I had grabbed my gun, the one that was in the box, and then she cocked and swung as I'm retreating, and another round I pulled off because she was pointing a loaded weapon at me.
For prosecutors, absurd statements like these would be easy to dismantle given the overwhelming amount of evidence. Prosecutors went on to show the jury every single second of the recordings obtained by police. Given that there were hours and hours of footage of Keith abusing Brandy, the jury were convinced who the real victim was in this situation.
This shit is
Consequently, it would take them less than 3 hours to come to a conclusion. Keith Johansson was given life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Damn. Woo! Hit his ass with that 30p plus more. Alright. Got life.